Quý vị đang theo dõi chương trình Khéo Dùng Tiền của Đài Lý Luật Sư TV. Anh Tom và chúng tôi đang bàn với ông Peter Kim là một quản trị viên về tín dụng tại ngân hàng United Business Bank. Ông ta đến đây để bàn với chúng ta về thủ tục một cái loan, commercial loan được approve bởi ngân hàng của ông ta. Trước khi mà ngừng cho chương trình commercial, chúng tôi có hỏi ông Peter đó là nếu mà công ty mà cash nó ít mà account receivable nó nhiều thì có bị khó khăn trong vấn đề apply for cái loan của ngân hàng ông ta hay không? So let's go back to accounts receivable.
Yes.
It's current asset also. But if a company has a really slow turnover in AR, would that be also a problem in having a loan approved by your bank?
Yes, when one of the key factors that we review on business loans, and especially if the receivables are one of the key items on their balance sheets, I assume that either the wholesalers or manufacturers will have heavily composed on the receivables. We look at that as a primary collateral. If the receivables are collectible, then we assume that the loans will be payable. If the receivables are uncollectible or a portion of the receivables are slowing down, that will continue to hurt companies' cash flow. That's why a lot of complicated transactions, we do account receivable audits by the third parties. Smaller transactions, we rely heavily on the financial statements informations, and we do deduct a certain portion of the past due receivables. We only consider net portion to make sure that that is what the true collateral will be when we are assessing the unsecured business line of credit.
So you have a certain math per se or certain algorithm to figure out how much of that account receivable could be allocated towards the equity or towards the part of the portion of the loan.
Yes, yes. Certain line of credits that are short-term based are strictly rely on receivable financing only. Then yes, we do have a certain advance rates depending on the net eligible receivables. So we do calculate the eligible receivables only, and then we do advance certain portions, a percentage of that total receivables.
Okay, that counts towards cash flow per se.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
What's the third and next factors?
Well, I think that collateral is considered important, but we would like to consider the experience and then the character of the borrowers. What they have to have a good amount of experience. They have to be committed to the businesses. As the lenders, lots of times the banks are afraid of or shy away from non-owner operated businesses where owners are never there and they're just run by managers. Absentee owner businesses are very, very difficult. We see that if the owners are committed enough to spend a lot of time and investments on the business, that's one of the key factors that the lenders are looking at. And then we also look at their experiences and whether right now we're seeing a lot of family members are getting involved in the businesses, and we like to see that where the whole family members are getting involved, which means there's that much devoted into the operations. Other than that is a lot of industry analysis where the current market conditions, whether the business model itself is whether they're in an upward trend or a downward trend in the current market. There are certain businesses are really taking advantage of the markets that are in right now versus the businesses are more difficult to operate as it goes by. A lot of retailers are having difficulty in competing against the retailers because of the online. A good example would be online sales. A lot of consumers are moving into online sales. if they are reacting to that and then developing their business models to accommodate more revenue sources from online, then their declining in retail sales are kind of offset with that.
I see that as well. I see you're absolutely right that there are more retail going towards online sales, as you know, Amazon, of course, online. But you can start seeing the Walmart, the Target. They're moving towards they're providing more online services. So you're right. The smaller businesses need to follow the trend or go with the trend online. Otherwise, they eventually will be consumed or die off if they don't take on this technology.
Yes.
Right.
Let me do some translation here. Kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi có hỏi tiếp ông Peter là những yếu tố khác mà cái ngân hàng của ông ta consider lúc approve cái loan của quý vị. Thì ông ta có nói là cái điểm thứ ba là cái collateral, tức là cái loan đó có được guarantee bởi cái tài sản không. Thí dụ như là trường hợp những cái real estate loan thì nó có cái building, cái land của nó. Hoặc là có những cái loan mà tạm thời ngắn hạn như là cái line of credit thì nó guarantee bởi cái account receivable. Cái điểm kế tiếp là vấn đề kinh nghiệm, cái người apply cho cái loan đó có kinh nghiệm làm ăn hay không. Trong gia đình có nhiều người làm ăn hay không cũng là một yếu tố mà ngân hàng consider. Cái điểm kế tiếp là vấn đề cái characters của người làm loan, cái người đó có cái credit có thật thà hoặc là có bị criminal records đại khái như vậy thì cái loan cũng khó khăn. Cái điểm khác cũng rất là quan trọng và chúng tôi cũng được ông Kim cho biết là cái vấn đề cái industry. Tại vì đây là điểm mà quý vị cũng biết là có những cái ngân hàng người ta shun away from doing cái loan for retail. Tại vì quý vị cũng biết là càng ngày những cái retail bán hàng mà có cái cơ sở thương mại, có cái tiệm thì là cái loan càng ngày càng khó cạnh tranh với những cái hãng mà chuyên về internet như là Amazon hoặc là Google hoặc là Alibaba đại khái như vậy, cho nên những cái loan đó rất là khó khăn. So beside all these characters here, factors here, do you ever make exceptions? It's appeared to me that income and capital are, the top two factors. So somebody come in with really margin income and not enough capital, would you ever make exceptions and approve the loan?
Well, not every loans are black and white. Not all loans are very clear cut. In fact, most of the transactions are in between. Depending on how we structure the loans, some of the weaker components can be mitigated with other strength. So we look at all the factors and we try to enhance what is the positive factor and then what is the negative factor. If the positive factor outweighs the negative factors, then yes, there are some exceptions that the banks do make.
Well, you're right. I mean, your bank is not just black and white. It's not just, plus and zeros. There's a human factor in it,
yes.
Right? You have to evaluate all the gray area, and ultimately it's the human factor that decide on having the loan or not. Maybe they have really bad credit, but they have more experience or whatever it is to outweigh the negative.
Yes,
right.
That's right.
So, what about the amount or the limit on the loan? So the higher the loan, the amount, the harder to get approval. Or if on the factors you gave, which one? You have your secret formula, right?
Oh no!
You trying to get the secret sauce out of them?
So I can tell
I will
the
never
audience.
share that.
So I can tell the audience, like on the factors of, on the 10 factors. So income is like 5 points,
yes.
or.
I think not everybody has their secret recipes on their books, but I think generally most of the lenders look at very similarly. There are some differences depending on how each individuals are reviewing, whether they like to see more positive factors versus there are some negatives where they just were more cautious. So that's why that every decision has to be either reviewed by a lot of different people instead of just having one person to make a quick decision. I encourage all the applicants to talk to to their lenders and then to professionals to get advices on how to move to make their loan package ready to submit. But not only talking to one lender, but if they have two different lenders that you can kind of compare what sources are more favorable for their company or their businesses.
So you suggest borrowers or clients should go shop around,
Yes.
should go check 2 or maybe 3 different lenders to compare, compare apples to apples,
Yes,
per se.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another factor that I noticed that in my personal experience that a customer relationship also. So if somebody comes to you and bring, let's say, applying for a loan but don't have strong, all these factors here, but if they bring in a different business to your bank, with a very very a good business with good cash flow. Would that also be considered in terms of getting the other the other loan approved also?
Whenever that we look at any transactions for the customers, we look at a lot of entire customers' relationship. If the customers are either getting a good type of type of loans, or that are not so favorable loans that are at that moment, then banks will all look at any transactions that we can accommodate. I think having a community banks that are more flexible in terms of accommodating certain type of transactions, we can alter our tools to fit whatever the customer's needs are. That are a little bit more flexible in terms of the mainstream banks. So.
Kính thưa quý vị, chúng tôi có hỏi tiếp ông Peter là trong trường hợp mà có những cái người vô vay một cái nợ nhưng mà người ta không có strong về cash flow hoặc là người ta không có vốn nhiều, thì như vậy có khó khăn trong vấn đề xin cái loan không? Ông Peter có cho biết là theo cái ngân hàng của ông ta đó thì không có cái vấn đề clear cut những cái yếu tố nào mà nó quan trọng, nó bắt buộc phải như vậy. Có nghĩa là người ta sẽ consider tất cả mọi yếu tố trong lúc quý vị vay cái loan, vấn đề vốn, vấn đề cash flow, vấn đề kinh nghiệm, cũng như là vấn đề cái cá tính của cái người đi vay cái loan. Chúng tôi có đặt câu hỏi là cái vấn đề mà business relation có quan trọng không, thì ông nói cái đó rất là quan trọng. Cái đó quý vị cũng biết là có những cái loan đó thì người ngân hàng người ta nói là nếu quý vị mà apply cho cái loan một cái new business, trong khi đó quý vị có một cái business khác mà nó đang làm ăn rất là khá, cash flow mạnh, nếu quý vị mang cái account đó sang ngân hàng người ta thì người ta có thể cho quý vị vay nợ một cách dễ dàng hơn. Thì nói chung ra thì là người ta consider tất cả mọi cái yếu tố để mà consider cái loan cho quý vị. Thank you so much for a very informative topic. So I hope you can come back and explain more. It's very very complex topics, and I did my best to translate what you told the audience. So cảm ơn quý vị đã theo dõi chương trình. Chúng tôi xin hẹn gặp lại quý vị vào chương trình tới. So would you have a few last word with the audience?
Well, I really appreciate inviting me here to share my perspective. If any of the help, I hope they can kind of feel free to reach out to their bankers and ask any questions. And thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it, and definitely I would love to come again.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, Peter. Thank you for coming. Yeah, Tom Nguyen, xin chào quý vị.
Xin kính chào quý vị.